Alright, so this video is for my second level CAD 2 higher level students. Uh, I'm going to show you how to convert and set up to print out a part on the 3D printer. So let me go to individual screen. Alright, I'm using Sean's as an example. Just because he's the first one that sent me some parts. Now, good news, bad news. I'm not actually going to do the print it for you. I'm just going to show you, so you're still going to have to go through all the steps. I'm going to start by opening up Inventor. He shared his part with me. When you do it, as long as you have it saved on your H drive, I believe, you should be able to get to your part on the computer connected to the 3D printer. Alright, so he has his 3D part. He's going to come here to the start button. He's going to go to print, send to 3D print service. We want it to be an STL file. Click on options, make sure it's in millimeter. If it comes up centimeter, it's going to be tiny, way too tiny to really do anything with. So I click OK, click OK. I pick where I want to save it. Since you'll be doing this on your own, you'll want to save it into your H drive, into your CAD folder. Since this is mine, I'm just going to save it on the desktop. So I do that. I get a little pop-up. I'll close that down because I don't need it. I'll also open up the other piece and convert it to open. It's on my desktop. Open up the other piece, and I'll do the same thing. Start, print, options, send to 3D print service, STL, make sure it's in millimeters. Okay, and save. And again, I can close that pop-up. Now, I don't need Inventor anymore, so I'm going to close it. Just because I have several things running here, I don't want it to be super slow. Alright, MakerBot Desktop is a program that you're going to need. Double click, open that. We're going to click here to prepare. I'm going to click to add file. I gotta go to my desktop where I have it saved. Take Sean's first part. Now I'm going to scale it down once I get both of them on here, but I want to show you how to move stuff around inside the program. Alright, here are different options for things you can do. The eye lets you look at it, so I can click and move. I know it looks laggy, but when you're not going through two computers, it should be okay. This button is move. I can click and drag it. If I click on it a second time, I can specify how I want to move it. Close that. This one is for rotating. I double click. This way I can flip and rotate it in 3D space. Now, whenever we have it laying the way we want, we always want to click lay flat. I've had several times I started to print something and then it just turns into spaghetti because it wasn't actually on the plane. It was up in the midair a little bit. Basically, you want the most stable side down. This is how I would print this one. If when you import it, if it would come in like this, if you would print all this empty space here underneath, you would either need support for it to come out even relatively close, If you didn't have support material turned on, it would just droop and just wouldn't turn out right. So you want to have everything either supported by the print bed or support material. So let me put it back the way that makes more sense and lay flat, get it flat on there. Let me add the other piece. Alright, so they're inside of each other, so I'm going to have to move it. I'm just going to put it beside it. Now, this one may be okay printing like this. This gap is small enough that you can probably get away with it. It's still going to be better to print it laying flat, because again, more of it's going to be supported. So I'm going to rotate it, get it flat down on the face. Alright, so I have both of them on there. Alright, let's say this is just a test run. We don't want to print it full scale the first time. I'm going to hit Shift to let me click on both of them. And I'm going to click here. This is the Scale Objects button. Click on that. Click a second time. And then I can change the dimensioning. I wouldn't mess so much with these individually. If I'm changing it, I'm just going to change it here. So I'm going to change it to 50%. Hit enter. It basically scales it down to half size. You can do it up, do it down, doesn't really matter. Now, well, I'm printing right now. I got a jam, so that popped up. I'll fix that in a second. Alright, if I click settings here, here's where I can make adjustments. You heard me say support before. That's just extra material that the program adds in to help things that need support. I'm going to turn that off because I don't need that. Raft is basically, it puts down a bed of the plastic that helps it stick so it doesn't move around while you're printing. Usually we'll need that. We'll just leave it on. Quality, for most things we will do standard. For these, since the layer height isn't going to affect it so much, we're not doing curved surfaces on this one. I can click low, and then you can adjust the infill. Again, we're doing something small, so I would stick with around 15%. There's no need for it to be completely solid. And then the number of shells, I usually leave that at 2. Again, won't have to mess that too much. Click OK, and that's ready to print. If you want to preview it, you can click here. It will do and show you the layers as it builds up. When I mentioned infill, see if I can rotate it. It's a little hard to see, but basically infill is how solid it is. Inside these basically made up of squares, and the higher the infill, the smaller the squares, so there's more material inside. But this way you can look through the different layers, what it should look like. Let me get her back up here. Alright, you can see the print time is about an hour. And then once I have everything set up, I'll show the class how to level the print bed and everything. You want to make sure you level that, and then you click export, and you can print it. You can also do it here. I'm printing something right now. Well, that's almost done, so I'm going to hold off on actually printing that. Alright, and that's how you would set up your print. Now again, Sean, I'm going to hold off and let you do this on your own, because I have faith in you. And you can always get Greg to help you too, since he's your partner.